People play games when they're trying to learn. People play games to also keep themselves safe because they at least can define a set of rules and say, I'm going to operate based on that.
Well, but even let's talk about trying to learn. Let's talk about trying to learn here because I know a lot of the women at home are anxiously attached. They're listening to this right now and they're thinking, okay, that sounds great. Yes, I am playing these games. I wish I knew how to play the games because I can't even do that. What do I do? And then they hear us saying, well, be fully yourself, understand who you are, and be that. And there's a pit that I know many of you at home are falling into right now, and you're listening to this going, well, what the heck is the difference? How do I do that? If I don't learn the rules, if I don't know who I am, okay, pause. You don't want to be overwhelming to the other person, yes. So you don't want to be the worst version of yourself. That's absolutely. But you can become the best version of yourself.
But who says overwhelming is the worst version of you? What if you're an overwhelming person? That's just your energy.
Well, I would say if you're trying to match correctly to somebody, the person, that would be overwhelming. If you're that way with everybody, that could be a problem, especially like coercive soothing, things like that, driving other people to soothe you in that capacity. That would be overwhelming.
I think it's overwhelming for a person who's not a match.
I suppose it could be. Do you think that there's a line where your behavior could be unhealthy and then you're seeking another unhealthy person who would be codependent to try to take care of you?
100%.
There we go. We're in alignment. I figured, where is that line for you? Because I'm curious, because it's different. It is, to your point, it's different for everybody where that line's going to be. One person's codependent is going to be another person's dream, and it's sustainable. Where's that line? Where do you help people find that line, I guess?
Yes, that's so. I really, again, I do less about help women find that line as much as I help them find themselves. My work is really about helping women find themselves. So much so that when a lot of times in my mastermind groups where women come in and they're like, we have Voxer as well, where they can leave voice notes throughout the week and ask questions in between our sessions and our meetings. And I hear sometimes women say, well, I have a question because my partner, and then in the next one comes in, well, my partner. And I remember several months ago, I came into the Voxer and I said, stop telling me about your partner. Your partner did not hire me. Tell me about you. Tell me about why you let that behavior continue for 20 years. Tell me about why you're so upset that your partner did that thing. Tell me about how you responded. I don't care about what your partner did or didn't do. I want to know why you've allowed it for this long and why you seem to think that maybe you can find an excuse for it for another decade. Like, I work with women to help them get clear on who they are only and heal from traumas, recognize patterns and ways that they show up, and also fill themselves up in places where they feel that they are becoming dependent outside of themselves. Because also a slippery slope I see is a woman will attach to somebody and he might be toxic in a lot of ways, but maybe he has this one trait and he's fulfilling this one need of hers. And she becomes so hyper dependent on it and will excuse away all the other bad behavior. And I help her see that, do you understand that you now, because you've never given yourself that thing that you're seeking and getting from him, you now think it's him that you love. It's not him that you love. You love that one micro thing is getting filled in you. You can fill that in yourself. Right? So my work always comes back to helping the individual woman. I'm less concerned about the relationships because the relationships always figure themselves out once she understands herself. But the work again and again begins within herself. Even if she has a partner there at home. For a very long time, I had to kind of disengage a bit from my partner and say, like, I am on a really deep dive into myself. I'm not sure where I'm going to land. I'm not sure if you're gonna love where I land, but if I don't do this, it's not gonna be good for us. Like, it's not gonna be good for our marriage because I am not happy. So I'm gonna figure out where I need to land, and then you can figure out if it still aligns for you or not. And if it doesn't, why would we wanna force something?
So let me ask you this. I'm really curious here, right? Because this is a question around the institution of marriage. And there's, two schools of thoughts, and the traditional one is that marriage is forever, and you're supposed to commit, and that's it. And then there's also the school of thought that, says, well, you can try, and if it doesn't work, then you can try again, and you can get better over time as you try repeated marriages. Why do you feel that maybe one school prevails over the other? What's the benefit?
I don't know if one school is prevailing over another. I think that we're kind of drawn down the middle right now. I think that, to be honest, in the work that I've been doing for so long, what I hear from women is they somehow feel, we hear the story that men leave for another woman, women leave to be free. So I think that women are often really wanting to leave, and they stay for all the wrong reasons. They stay because it's the right thing to do by the children. They stay because it's the right thing to do for religion. They stay because it's the right thing culturally. They stay because every other woman in their family suffered, and it's just what women do.
If you like this clip, I know you're going to enjoy the full episode. You can watch it right here.